Hey there guys, today I'm gonna make a tutorial on how I made this drop application of regression by acid notation or scratcher, however you want to call it. Alright, so without further ado, let's start. Let's begin. So the first thing I did in here was find out like the BPM of the song. Wait, let me just now there's two ways to do this. Well, there's actually multiple ways, but I mainly use two. The first one, the most obvious one, is to search the BPM of the song you want to hear, like in the internet. But a lot of the times, like the pages that show the BPM of the songs are wrong. Like, I don't know, they will show you 180 instead of 182 like the song is. So in that case, you could do this. You can click on detect tempo, 100 to 200 approximately, and it should like auto detect the BPM of the song. All right, so going to the actual recreation of the song. First of all, what I did in here was to open a lot of fucking serums. Like, see, I have 8 serum instances open. What I did first was recreate this part, of course. So what I did to to recreate this like crunchy bass sound. I am not like I'm like really suck sound design in Serum. So what I did, I just picked one of my favorite presets. That's booty. It's in here. Wait, where is it? Alright, it's about to crash apparently. Right, but what I did, I grabbed my favorite preset, it's booty, and I use it like as my main bass or lead. I mean, this classifies as a lead, but in the song it feels like a bass. And I did that to recreate this. Wait, as you can see, it sounds pretty similar, but not exactly the same. As you can hear, like it has a kick at the start of the sound. Wait. So obviously you're gonna then like make the drum patterns. We're gonna see that later, but as you can see, it sounds pretty similar. Now you can obviously modify it to however you want. I don't think it's like equal 1-to-1 to the actual song like the recreation I did, but it's pretty similar. The idea of a recreation, of a remake, is that you remake the song, not like copy it exactly the same. And I use like a secondary lead. Sorry, I'm kind of sick. This synth. As you can see, like it's just to add like a little bit more crunchiness to the sound, not like to really be heard as the first lead, I mean as the primary lead. So yep, that will be for this part. And now passing on to this part. Alright, as you can see, it has like this wheezing sound, like oh, I don't know what the fuck that sound was, but like or I don't know how to describe it, but you can clearly hear it in here, like a breathy sound. So what I did here, I grabbed I think it was a bass, I don't really remember quite well. Let me see. No, it was a bass. And you see, originally this bass comes with the envelope like this. So what I did, first of all I deactivated the reverb, and I don't remember what else. Let me see. The fuck did I just do? Okay, I think I just fucked up the whole project a little bit. I have to restart FL Studio, sorry. Alright, so in that part I use like a preset that doesn't sound like it sounds here in the remake. Okay, now let me show you how it comes from default like this, how this preset is on default. I'm gonna put it 1-to-1 so you can see what I changed and what I didn't change. Alright, so the bass was, I think it was the bass. This is the other bass. Yep. So as you can see, first of all, I deactivated the reverb, only a reverb, into as you can hear here, the original one doesn't sound at all like the one we have here, because I modified the first envelope that controls like the timing. I don't know if you can call it like that, and the LFO. What I did here, I kind of played with it, like to see how each envelope changed the sound, and I kind of just did this. I think oh yep, what I did here, to make like the breathing sound, I use this as a modulator with the volume level of the oscillator A and oscillator B. So as you can see, it kind of like does this wobbly thing. It goes up and then down, just as you can see in here. Okay, so it did that. So as you can see, it starts sounding more like this, but it's still pretty low. Like the octaves are pretty low. It sounds pretty deep. So I removed I uppered the octaves to leave it at 0, as the wavetable originally is. Alright, so we have that part covered. Let's do that. But we still, I don't really remember what else I did modulate with this, but it seems I'm modulating something else with it. Oh right, this modulator. Alright, so as you can see, it's sounding like more breathy, but we still need to control, like to move this envelope right here. So if you put it right here, as you can see, now it sounds a lot more like in here. So what you have to do here is just start putting on the notes. Oh, and I also modified the wait, shit. I also modified this, like the port time in here, in order to, so I can bend the sound. See, as I did in here, right in here. And with the other serum instance I had, like with the other lead I just showed you, I put some 3x OSC to back up the sound, and that will be it for this part of the song. So as you can see, it's just like this. Wait, what the fuck just happened here? Serum 8. Oh, wait. Now to this whole section, well, to each modulator I also EQ'd it so it sounds more like in the song. this song is kind of like saturated in a lot of stuff. So basically, I just put everything up. I'm not really a master at equalizing, not at all, as you can see, but I did what I could. Same with here. I put on a lock filter for the start, or no, for this last part. And I also EQ'd it, but it didn't really work, so I just turned it off. Oh, and this part, this has a automatically, but we'll see it later. Alright, and what I did here in the pattern 2 is the same. I just reorganized everything so it sounds like in the song. Now, with the drums. I EQ'd it because, as you can see, it's like a really punchy kick. Like the kick really like cuts off everything else in the song, so you can only hear the kick. I did the best I could EQing it without destroying the fucking sound. You know, it's pretty hard to not overdrive like a sample too much if you're EQing too much like the low frequencies. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. But what I did, this is pattern 3. I put on 2 kicks. Now all the drums are in the same mixer track except for the hi-hats, which I use in other patterns, so I put it on a different mixer track. And I just heard the drums here. So as you can see, there's a really faint sounding hi-hat, like doing now the trick here is like just really listen closely to the drums, because if you're not listening closely, you can miss some details, like in here in the last part. As you can see, like it starts going crazy, and if you don't hear it, you can like just not notice it and make your remake less accurate. Like in here. So that will be it for the drums. I added 2 kicks, 2 snares, or 3 snares. 1, 2, no, 2 kicks, 2 snares, and hi-hats. That'll be it. No, that will be all for it. Now for this part, I did the same trick I did with all this. I grabbed a preset and I kind of modify it. If I recall, I used the clang lead. I don't know if I modified it. I don't think so, because it sounds like I've used this preset a lot of times and it doesn't sound too different from the normal version, so I don't think I modified it. I didn't even use mixer tracks on it. This part wasn't really hard at all. I just grabbed 2 serum presets that sounded similar to the sound there and just put it on here. Alright, so as a main sound, I used a lead. It's a pretty simple lead, like you have a square wave in here and another square wave in here in the sub, and that's all it has to it, and it has some background noise, but you could, I don't know, perfectly do this with 3x OSC and a little bit of envelope modifying. And the clang lead, so that will give us this spark. Just reverse it in here, as you can hear in the song. Now for one of the most difficult parts of the song to make and recreate, this like overdrive part. Alright, so I'm not really like you know, satisfacted, if you can say like that. Wait, not like fully okay with how this turned out. Like this part, I don't think it sounds exactly like in the song. Now, as I told you before, it doesn't have to sound exactly like in the song, but I kind of wanted to sound more accurate. As you can see in this part, it doesn't sound like so I don't know, spontaneous, if you can call it like that, but it doesn't sound exactly like in the song. Uh, and well, let's not even start with this part. This part sounds like just awful. I just did the best I could, but there's nothing much I could do about it. It's a sound that's really hard to recreate. I've never been really good with growls in Serum. Like I've always really sucked with it, and I have a lot yet to learn from this. From this synthesizer. Alright, so what I did here, I put on the leads. Some of the leads I used in the first pattern. But basically what I did, I just overdrive the fuck out of all of this leads and synthesizers. I used a 808 preset from Flex. You can find a lot of those in there because you have like a whole library of them. I used this one, 808 Crushed. This is like the main synthesizer of this pattern, as you can see in here. As you can see in here, like I think it may also be using like a an 808 or something, because it sounds really similar to that. Oh shit. Okay, wait. Here it is. Alright, so I put on that. I didn't mix it or anything because 808s I like already really overdrive. I don't know if you say it like that, like if you call it overdrive, but that's what I call it. Oh, I've always called it. Alright, so I put on some 3x OSC, like also as a baseline, like in a really low octave, and I also use some Serum. In here, I just really bended it, like I really modified the portamento time. I used the same bass from before, like the breathy one, but in a really low octave again. And I also used the booty preset from before. Oh shit, wait. For this like wow sound. Now to all this pattern, each synthesizer is in a different mixer track, but what I did is I just put a lob filter for the general. I don't know, for only one insert, surprisingly. As you can hear, and I put on a lob filter and a EQ level for the master track, mixer, if you could call it like that. Alright, I use that for the roar sound, like wow. And I just kind of play with it. Now I did the same with the Paramedic EQ2 level, as you can see in here. I just boosted like the fuck out of the high frequencies, and well, I just did that. And I'm not sure what I did here. Wait, let me see. Okay, so that's that, and what does that correspond to? Oh, all right. So I guess sorry, I was mistaken. I actually EQ'd the first mix, like the first insert only. That's the roar, I think. But anyways, I you just have to play with the equalizers. And then at the last part, I boosted the high frequencies of everything, like even the kicks, because it gives you like this effect you haven't Alright, and here I think I put it on 6. Yep. I just saw how the song was cut onto, and I tried to recreate it as good as possible, like within the limits the FL Studio gives me, and it turned out like this. Now this like chopped up part isn't really good. It sounds kind of wacky. Like, you can't really hear it well, but I did what I could. And in this last part, I just cut off the drums. The drums now, I just heard how the drums were in this part of the song. Now, as I told you before, you have to really watch out for the drum patterns changes. Because as you can see, you can't really tell it if you don't pay attention. But at this last beat, the pattern changes, as you can see here. And that will be it for this part. Now that's all they showed in the video I uploaded before, but I actually have done more work in here. I did it until here, and I've been trying to experiment with this part, but it hasn't really turned out well. As you can see in there, I don't really like how that's turned out, so I'm gonna work on it later. But I've worked. I think this part really turned out well, as you can see in here. Well, and that's kind of fed until this part. And I'm going to show you the remake part of that now. Alright, so what I did here, I did the same I've always done in here. I just kind of played with the synths I have in here. I previously had. I don't think I added anymore. I did the same trick with the OSC. I added it like as a bass, and I used the first serum, the booty preset, as the main lead, because as you can see, this part in here. Wait, this part in here uses the same synthesizer as in here. And in here I use the same synthesizer as in here, so it should be kind of the same. Now there seems to be a problem with the EQ in here, so I'm going to just do this so it doesn't sound like that. And in this part, so as you can see in this part, they use like this kind of pretty synth. So I use the same pretty synthesizer I've always used, with a little bit of bass from the 3X OSC. Now with this, I use this like kind of a lead to also add some crunchiness to it, and that will be it for that part. Here I just modified it. Oh wait, sorry. I just modified like the way the notes were put out, but it's the same synthesizers as before. I use the same drum pattern as in the first drop. You can see it's the same. And for this part, I think I used the same as in here. Now I use the clang. Oh wait. And next one, that's just a really simple square wave kind of synth. I use the clang one like as a main sound, the main synthesizer in here. What I did, I just modified it so you can bend it upwards while you increase the portamento time. So I did this, like if I remove this note, it won't sound like that. But if I add that, it will sound like that. So that's what I did. And I grabbed the other synth and I put it one octave higher. Actually, I seem to have used 3. Yep, I didn't see this one, sorry. I just used that one. That's a really simple triangle wave. It's just like kind of a, I don't know, backup sound, but it's really simple. The only complex like synth in here is a clan one that's not really that complex, and it's also a preset in Serum. So that will be it for this part. That will be all I've been working on for as for now in this song, except for this part, which I really hate. And well, that will be it. If you have any doubts or if you want the project, just let me know and I'll hand it out to you. Thanks for watching.